Toolbox is a very advanced diagnostic tool that allows performing complex diagnostic and service operations. In most cases, these include changes in the settings of electronic systems or interventions into the accessories of the motorcycle. Unlike simple operations such as fault memory reading or parameter reading, these diagnostic operations may affect the functioning and reliability of the motorcycle, and thus also impact the safety of its operation. Toolbox may therefore only be used by a trained and experienced technician who must accept full responsibility for all operations they perform. They accept this responsibility by accepting the following agreement, which is built into the diagnostic software itself. Toolbox Agreement provides service functions intended exclusively for trained and experienced service technicians. In order to use these service functions, the service technician must be familiar with the manufacturer's instructions on how to apply these functions to the specific motorcycle model. The use of service functions is described in the technical documentation and diagnostic manuals provided by the manufacturer of the motorcycle. To successfully perform service functions, it is necessary to ensure the accumulator receives the prescribed supply voltage. The supply voltage must be stable during the performance of service functions. Always check the condition of the accumulator before performing service functions. If its capacity is low, recharge or replace the accumulator. Successful performance of service functions also requires that the computer, where the diagnostic software is installed, has stable connection to the internet. Internet connection is required by the majority of service functions. The use of these functions is registered. Prior to performance service functions, always connect a battery charger that is able to fully recover the power consumed by the motorcycle's electrical wiring after the ignition circuit is switched on. When performing individual service functions, always follow the prescribed procedures and carry out all the displayed instructions without interruption. Any interruption may damage the motorcycle's electronic systems. Not following any of the above instructions may damage the motorcycle or reduce its operational reliability. By agreeing to this notice, I confirm that I have read this notice carefully and declare that I accept full responsibility for the performance of service functions. Not agreeing to the above closes this part of the program. The range of functions available in Toolbox is determined by the specific motorcycle and is continuously expanding. The majority of functions require active connection to the internet. Most functions in Toolbox are performed by first using the plus and minus buttons to select the setting of choice, and then using the green arrow to send the information to the motorcycle. Each function also features a help button that provides you additional information about the function or links you directly to the Doc4Bike database, where you can learn exactly how to perform the given function. The first function is adjusting idle running. This function is available for Evolution and Twin Cam engines. For M8 engines, idle running can only be adjusted by editing tuning maps. In order to adjust idle running properly, the engine must be warmed up to operating temperature. For Evolution engines, this temperature is usually 120 to 140 degrees Celsius, or 248 to 284 degrees Fahrenheit. For Twin Cam engines, the temperature range is 80 to 100 degrees Celsius, or 176 to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Another frequently used function is bleeding of the brake system with ABS, which should be performed after any intervention into the motorcycle's braking system, such as after changing braking fluid or changing the pressure tubing. A simple tutorial will guide you through the entire procedure. Diag4Bike Diagnostics allows adjusting TSSM, HFSM, and BCM safety modules. Diag4Bike is able to read the pin from all safety modules, turn automatic locking on and off, or activate and deactivate sidecar connection functions. Changing the sidecar function affects the functioning of the motorcycle's tilt sensor. A commonly used function is the assigning of a new fob for HFSM and BCM modules. TSSM modules require manual assignment of fobs. An instruction manual is included in the D4B program. Settings also include a service mode, which is contained within maintenance services. BCM units also allow the configuration of lights, helpful, for instance, in case the motorcycle was fitted with additional lights, and LED headlights, etc. The tool also allows the activation or deactivation of the ABS warning indicator on the speedometer, or activation and deactivation of the radio function. Speaking of radios, you can perform comprehensive adjustments such as setting the regional code, wireless headset, configuring speakers, amps, and much more, including the radio Toolbox GTS 2019 system. If any of the control units of the motorcycle have been replaced, it's necessary to perform a module replacement procedure. This procedure pairs the control unit with other units installed on the motorcycle. In motorcycles with a 4-pin connector, you can pair the EFI, TSSM, HFSM, and radio modules. In motorcycles with a 6-pin connector, you can pair the EFI, BCM, and speedometer modules. If you installed exhaust pipes without flaps onto a motorcycle with exhaust flaps, this setting also needs to be changed. Another useful function available in Toolbox is the ability to change units of distance from miles to kilometers, and vice versa. Functions such as cruise control, adjusting decompressors, intake valves, EITMS, which switches off the rear cylinder to protect against engine overheating when idling, and other functions are most commonly used to factor in what equipment is installed on the motorcycle.